Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Adams. I'm here to speak with you about the topic of enmeshment. Since 1987, I've been studying and writing about the topic of enmeshment, its development in childhood and its impact on the child and on the adult. Enmeshment is a term that is used in the family therapy field to describe an extreme about the ways certain families function and how it disrupts the development of the individuals in that family. The family system therapists identified for us that families function along a continuum of cohesion. In other words, how much closeness, togetherness does a family have? Ideally, you want a moderate degree of closeness in a family and then permission and a moderate degree of separation so the adult child can feel both free to leave the family and return to the family and get support. If you look at the research helps us see that adolescents and young adults make the most of their opportunities, both professionally and romantically, when they are free to leave home without guilt and excessive responsibility to the parent, and when they feel supported and welcomed back upon return. The extremes of cohesion is disengagement on one end, which there is no togetherness, and the topic we're talking about, the other extreme, is too much closeness, too much dependency between family members so that the family feels ultimately and exclusively loyal to each other, and outsiders, including romantic partners and spouses, are a threat to the system. Often these enmeshed families demand unreasonable loyalties that lead to excessive guilt feelings about living your own life. If it's specific to a parent and a child, where the child begins to hear about the parent's loneliness in the marriage, then we have a different version of enmeshment where the parent and child is enmeshed in such a way that the child feels like a surrogate husband or wife to the parent. Here we have further complications, particularly in the area of romance and sexuality. So how do you know if enmeshment applies to you? You likely feel excessive responsibility to the emotional needs of your parents. You probably feel burdened by this responsibility, leaving you feeling guilty and loyal to them and finding it very difficult to make any changes. You may often even feel angry and resentful, but are unable to do anything about it. Instead, you try to placate, compromise your commitments, particularly with others. You may find it even difficult to make the simplest commitments, like which movie to go to, which restaurant to go to. Often filled, we find with these men and women, a lot of guilt and ambivalence, making it difficult to figure out what they want because they feel so pulled to take care of the parent that they haven't fully identified what is in their best interest. You may give some attention, for example, to your spouse in hopes to give her or him just enough that they won't complain, but give your primary loyalty to your parents or to your family of origin. Of course, spouses and partners often feel as if they are second to your parent and your family, and they may find it difficult to tolerate this, and you and she or he may often even fight about this. So one of the questions that always comes up when I'm talking about this, where is the line between caring for your parent and your family that was your family of origin and enmeshment? Or where is the line between, say, a culture, a first generation culture here in the States, for example, where a certain degree of closeness that might be normative to the culture, where is the line between that and enmeshment? The question is a circular argument. It can't really be answered adequately. And here's the reason why. We could debate one side of the ledger versus the other side of the ledger, and we'd probably never get to a conclusion that made any sense to the person who feels enmeshed. The problem is that the person who feels enmeshed has a compass point, say an internal compass point of decision making that's based on obligatory guilt. It is not based upon the freedom to be themselves. So the line is defined by yourself Once you are free to say, no, my life, my spouse, my children, my career are my priorities. I care about my parent. I care about my family of origin, but they come down the list. Again, we have research studies that show us that couples who make it long-term often have found a way to emancipate and separate from their family of origin. They've become their own man and their own woman. They haven't amputated their family of origin or their parent, but they've become separate from them in the way that they are now their own man or their own woman. They might live in the same town, so living across the country or the other side of the globe is not separation. Separation really is an internal process, a process of emancipating and saying, no, Mom and Dad, you're responsible for your marriage. I'm not responsible any longer. So how can you help yourself if you identify with being enmeshed? First of all, understand that it is not your job to sacrifice your life for your parent or your family. It is your assignment to lead your own life. While some degree of caring is of course normal toward our family, and we all would like to have that intact, it is ultimately their role and responsibility to celebrate your emancipation as a separate person and to manage their feelings of loss themselves, not for you to sacrifice your life in order to take care of their feelings of loss. Again, we're not talking about extremes that you stop caring, but it really is the parent's responsibility to manage their loss and their grief. Certainly see a counselor who understands this issue and make sure that they understand the need for emancipation and separateness, and they don't necessarily see this as a normal thing. Consider attending one of my workshops on enmeshment. We do workshops of both men and women where we assist in separating and emancipating yourself from the internal contractual demands that you should be loyal at any cost, including, of course, to your own life, romantically or otherwise. Remember, living a life with passion and purpose is certainly possible. It isn't possible, though, if your compass point is obligatory guilt. Compromising is not going to get you to a life of passion and purpose. So please contact us with questions. Visit my website, overcomingenmeshment.com, or my YouTube channel, Dr. Ken Adams, for more information or other videos.